Dude, I'm gonna be Ricer Maximus with these gauges, and then these gauges, and then more gauges. Like, my Ricer points are like, dude, my Ricer points in Need for Speed, they could definitely level me up at this point. Fun fact, the other day when I put on the trim on the body, I actually didn't do this side. I never showed you guys, I never went over that side of the car, I just completely didn't tell you. But when I was laying down this side, I ran out of tape. I had literally just enough to do that strip, and then I was like completely out of tape, and I was like, oh shit. And I had a bunch of things to do that day, so I just didn't do anything about it. And then I went out yesterday, picked up some more tape. We got this side on, everything is good. One thing I really have to take care of, I don't know if I showed you guys it or not, but yesterday when I went for a drive, if you guys remember when I sueded the dash, I actually completely took out all the gauges because I knew we were gonna get more gauges, and I just completely kind of gutted it in here. And when I put it back together, I left all these gauge wires on the ground. I don't know why, it was a stupid idea. Well, you know what? I take that back. It was a good idea because now I know where all my gauge wires are because they used to run up and into there. Not nice. It's now like impossible to drive this thing because as soon as you put your feet down, you're just stepping on wires. So the final thing I want to do before we change the color on this thing, does this headlight look kind of funny to you guys? Anyways, yes, so I can't drive it like that. There's no way. I literally just moving it up and down the driveway. I'm scared I'm gonna ruin things. So today, we're gonna open a box. I feel like I've had this box for a long time. August 5th. Anyways, in this box, we have some very nice upgrades for the Civ. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this here? Like, I love that you guys always yell at me too. You're like, Robbie, you built a workbench, use the workbench. Sometimes I need that. Oh, baby. Dude, this box is just full of happiness. So when we did the wish build, we had like a bunch of mixed matched gauges, and it was cool. But when we built the 240, I was like, yo, Emerson, pick your favorite gauges, we're gonna get you a bunch of them. And that's exactly what we did here again. I just got a complete deck of matching gauges because I just feel like when you get in a car and they're all the same, it gives you like a good feeling, you know? It's a nicer to look at than when you get like a bunch of different, where they're all different colors. It's not good. In here we have the 10 color digital gauge series. So if you guys remember in the 240, we put in, it was a 10 color like blacked out housings, like kind of exactly the same thing, but they were not, they had a needle. So we have, I think 5 or 6 gauges. So I got oil pressure, I got boost, I got oil temperature, which is actually good because I've never ever had oil temperature gauge in the Civic, so I don't even know if this thing runs at a good temperature. I'm assuming it does because I've taken it on a road trip and it hasn't blown up, but who really knows? We got water temp, we got a wideband AFR, baby, because you guys remember the wideband we had, I ruined it. When the motor was falling out of this thing, when we were coming home from Calgary, the motor was falling out of this car, like straight up falling out. We blew all the motor mounts, the bolts fell out on the highway, like it was a shit show for those of you guys that weren't around. Shit. Look at that, it's the rear one, yeah, the rear one's toast. We're gonna be fixing that with the wideband AFR from Glow Shift. We got a new sandwich plate, this is for the water temp gauge, and we got a pillar pod. So this is way better. So we still have too many gauges for the pillar pod. I'll still probably use the little TPs that they come with, or whatever you wanna call them. But we also got a pillar pod. Dude, this thing is sick. Yo, the Civ is gonna be 100% Fast and Furious with this shit, dude. This is gonna turn my car into a real life version of Fast and Furious. And then, dude, the camera won't even pick this up. The lens on these is like kind of tinted, so it's kind of hard to see. They're just like all black housings, they light up, and I'm pretty sure you can just change the color of like the actual words. These things, super cool. If you guys are in the market for any kind of gauges, use the code Robbie10. Save yourself 10% on any of the Glow Shift products. I always recommend these things. They're super cool. You can change them to any color so they go with any kind of theme in your car. They don't pay me to tell you that, but I like them. I think, you know what? I think the best way is to just erase all this and start again. And this will literally probably take me all day because I have to figure out all the colors of wires. I also need to figure out this. I want to get like a little fly nut or something just to make that easier because I would rather secure it with like a nut and bolt every time. That way it's 100% stable than like a little pin. But I do not want to have an Allen keys and a 10mm wrench every time I want to take it off. I want to just like grab a little fly nut off in a couple seconds, good to go. This just goes to the AFR gauge, that's easy. This is the fun part. Okay, this might look messy, but it's actually very straightforward. It's just because 2 of these wiring things are not in like a loom. I have a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a good idea. It could be an absolute terrible idea, but no one's here to tell me this is a bad idea, so I'm gonna try and fire it up and see how it goes. So I think down here I still have a heap of sweaters for you guys. There should also be, yes, right here. So this is a wiring harness that came with one of my light bars. And I know you guys, holy shit, Courtney, I found your sunglasses. She's gonna love me. She's gonna come home, she's gonna be so stoked. The way that all this stuff's wired right now, like I said, this could be really wrong. But the way I have everything wired right now, the ground obviously just goes to a ground. And then we used a fuse for like the switch source and the signal source. So like for the lights to dim, because these gauges at nighttime, they'll actually dim so that it's not as bad on your eyes when you turn on your lights. And then for the switch source, I just have it in the radio fuse, so like when you turn the ignition and the radio comes on, the gauge will come on. But you need one more that's a constant, and the constant is basically supposed to like keep your settings saved, keep everything saved, kind of like in your radio. But the only constant I can find, I might be wrong, but the only constant I can find in this car is the radio one. And I don't want to tap 5 gauges into the back of my radio because it's not close and it seems excessive. So in all these instructions, it says if you don't have a constant, you can run one from your battery, you just need a fuse. So I'm like, where the hell am I gonna get a fuse? When I put the light bar on the back of the BRZ, I never even used this thing. So that's like a full light bar harness, but on the light bar harness, there's this little guy, which is an inline fuse. And I'm just gonna run a power, like a constant power source right off the battery. Because that seems like when you're trying to do 5 gauges and you want them to always have power, that seems like the better option than tapping into the back of my radio. Oh dude, I wonder if I could just get that out. That's just like a little... Yo, I am the best. Dude, didn't even ruin the wiring harness. Then I found this in the toolbox, and if, oh dude, that's mint. That is mint. Put this guy in here. Now this can go to the battery, fuse, and then this will just run right up to the front. I figure if it can go outside the car, it can definitely be long enough to go inside the car. I'm gonna try and fire up this little mystery box, because this one definitely seems the most confusing. So if I turn this all on and this one works, I'd say we're good to go. Please work. Oh baby. I guess it does this till you turn it on. Do we smoke out the garage for a quick second here? What the hell's going on? It's working, but I think maybe it has to be programmed or something, because it just ran up a bunch of colors and that was it. When it's powered on from a cold start, it takes 30 seconds to warm up. Sometimes you just gotta read the instructions. Yo, it didn't break one clip. High five. What the heck? Alright, so this guy actually pops onto here with like some little push clips. That's what the first 4 holes are for. But then this, the way this one is designed, it like comes really close to the actual like OEM trim piece. And I was scared that the gate, like the wires wouldn't be able to just kind of slink in here. So I cut a little bit of the bottom. That way the wires can like come up and go in behind. And then I'll just put each sensor through like this. That way there's nothing getting like pinched between here and this plastic or like fitment issues or anything. Dude, I'm gonna be Ricer Maximus with these gauges and then these gauges and then more gauges. Like my Ricer points are like, dude, my Ricer points in Need for Speed, they could definitely level me up at this point. This is gonna be so tight. And then for the last 2, I honestly thought they were gonna come with little single pod mounts, because when we got them last time they did, but I guess like different gauges come with different stuff. But thankfully we saved everything from when we did the last one. What do we do, like that for now? Or is that too much in your face? The cool thing about these is that they're flexible. Like they have cutouts all over the bottom of them, so you can literally bend it to like this round if you want. This is gonna be temporary anyways. I'm gonna get something else to hold these 2 gauges. This is just a temporary solution. For temporary, we can just put them like little ears right here and just see how we feel about it. Yo, this looks so good. First, let's see if we can get another win in the colorblind wiring books. Make sure that we actually did something here. Oh. Yes, dude, I am so stoked. A lot of mods are like cool, but this one makes me so happy. I don't know if you guys can even see like the depth of color on this. I think it's cool. Let's switch these hot boys back to some pink. And again, what's super cool, when you turn on your night lights, they get dim, so they don't blind your ass. Yo, the pillar pot though makes it, man. This is Need for Speed. This is real life Need for Speed. One of the things I was trying to show you when I was doing that little edit too, was like how cool it is that when you're in the cockpit, you see all the gauges, but when you're just right here, like just outside of the car and you look in, you can't even see these. Like those little visors just completely blind them right off. You don't even know they're there. Well, you know they're there, but you don't know what, like, you know what I mean. I think they look sick. So what I wanna do here, I just wanna fire it up really quick and make sure that I've wired everything properly, because that is another very iffy subject. Boost is reading, oil pressure's reading. These 2 are gonna have to get up to temperature before you can tell. I don't think you guys understand how good it feels to go from a car with like 7 different gauges to just all the same matching gauges. Like it's just such an unreal feeling. It just feels like we leveled up the Civ, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to level up. Also, these guys keep changing. The oil pressure is going down a little bit now that it's not idling so high. Oil temp and water temp are going up, which is good to see. Well, unfortunately, our insurance expired on this bad boy. So I'm not gonna be able to go test out the boost gauge today. It kinda sits like right in front of the tach, like, or the speedometer. You can't really see past 100. And same here, you can't really see past 6,000, but this is miles an hour. This is the full centimeter. I figure if I'm going more than 100 miles an hour and the full centimeter is reading past 6,000 cents, I'm probably going balls out anyways, so it doesn't matter. Like at that point, I don't think I'm caring. So the fact that you can't really see that doesn't really matter to me, because the only time I'm gonna be there, I don't care. Anyways, that's basically gonna be it for today's video. Oh, I can check that off my list. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna have for you guys today. That's gonna That's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys are super excited on this. I'm excited to go through insurance on this again so I can test the boost gauge. It just looks so good. Like I could just stop showing this to you guys, but honestly, I don't want to. Now we just need to build a new motor, make this thing like 500-600 horsepower so it's as fast as it looks. But yeah, me and Courtney are gonna have a date night because we keep going and doing things. Like we keep going to like places for weekends and spending with friends and having like great time, but we realize we never really get time to ourselves when we do that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go have a little date night. Otherwise, I would've gone and thrown the insurance on this bad boy right now, but that's it. I hope you guys are stoked. Make sure to use the code if you check out Glow Shifter in the link down below. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.